Hey guys, Roast here with a surprise video today. I wasn't planning on recording one, but Realm of the Mad God Deca dropped a bomb on us today that they're at least planning to soon, later this year, release some new weapon subtypes. Right now, they've given us the preview of 3 out of 6 subtypes. Those are the Dual Blade, the Tachi, and the Flail, and I'm going to break down what those are, what they do, and what they look like in just a second. I'm pretty excited for it. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe. Also, check out the Patreon too. Those links are all in the description. Yeah, with all out of the way, let's get started. So, yeah, like I said, they're introducing 3 out of the 6 new weapon subtypes. The Dual Blades, the Tachi, and the Flail. The Dual Blades are a subtype of the Dagger. I would assume they will be usable by all of the classes that use the Daggers currently, which is the Rogue, Trickster, and Assassin. And what I like about all of the weapons they seem to be showcasing today is that they all seem to utilize a sweet spot mechanic. But I'll talk more about that at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. So I'm going to briefly cover what they say in each thing, and then I'll really focus on the videos, because the videos really get the point across. So basically what happens is the new tiered blade, so they have a tiered setup and then an untiered item. The tiered blades will just shoot 2 daggers in a line like this instead of they're just single line. So they shoot a little bit offset, which allows for higher DPS but better accuracy to hit both of those daggers on the target. So you can get higher DPS, but it's at a little bit less range and you have to have higher accuracy. And then I'll show the UT in a second. So this is what those would look like. So you can see it's 2 separate lines, which is pretty neat. I wish these clips would sound, but unfortunately they don't. It's okay. But you can see here there's actually some shots that will end up missing when you're curving and stuff. But that's okay. I'm really excited to see how this looks. It's interesting. The UT they've got planned for have the base shots pierce, which is nice. They still shoot normally, but then in a really interesting mechanic, at the halfway point and at the end point of the full range, the shots, like, shoot outwards. Those shots don't pierce, but I'll just show you, because reading it doesn't make any dang sense at all. So you'll notice, I'm going to try and pause it. So yeah, the shots go, if the range is 6, at 3 range, the shots go outward, and at 6 range, the shots go outward again. Well, the shots don't go outward. More shots are spawned off of the original projectile. So if you're hitting things at 3 or 6 tiles exactly, you get a buttload of extra damage, because you're not just hitting them with the 2 shots, you're actually hitting them with up to 4 shots per what you would normally have a single shot for, which is super cool. And if you have a huge enemy, you can somehow hit them in like a crazy sweet spot between the 3 and 6. That would be, time for some crazy damage. In the case they show them fighting one of the Crystal Caverns worms, and they almost die here too, which is hilarious. But they can get some really good damage off and just instant pop it, which I think is pretty interesting. So I'm really curious to see how this pulls off. The next one we're going to talk about is the Tachi, which is a subtype of the katana for the ninja, for the samurai, and for the kensei. Again, good news. I love those classes. I'm here for it. The tiered one shoots blades in an X formation. So as you can see, when you start shooting, it doesn't originate at the character, which is interesting. It starts off like at your shoulders almost, crosses in front of you maybe 3 or 4 tiles away, and then separates again. So there's a sweet spot, maybe 4 tiles out, where if you're hitting both of those blades at once, you're getting a lot of damage. But the issue is you have to position yourself exactly 4 tiles away, or you get a lot less damage. And you can't just be closer, you can't be further, you have to be exactly 4 tiles away to maximize your damage. In a similar method, the UT, Memory of the Fallen, well, let me play this just so you can see more of what it looks like. I'm really excited for these if you can't tell. This looks really cool. It's probably going to suck a little bit on release. They'll probably have to balance it, but I'm really excited for how these can be played with. I think these will spice up the game when they release all these. I think they add a lot of new swap out potentials. If they're balanced well enough, they can potentially not upset the meta, but just add some new options, add some variety, add some flavor, add some fun, instead of just point at the direction, point at boss, go pew pew pew, point at the boss, get exactly 3.5 tiles away and obliterate their HP bar, I like that kind of thing. The UT for Kensei or Katana is a little bit scuffed looking, honestly. The trick for this one is that the shot pattern switches every few seconds, changing the hit zone from, it kind of goes from like a shape like this, far away, to a shape like this that goes for a long time. And I know it looks weird when I try and describe it, but it'll make sense. So you can see when you're shooting it first, it's just this one little spot where you have a sweet spot to hit kind of at closer to your max range, and then when it swaps, suddenly you get this straight line where the shots cross almost immediately, and you almost are just shooting a better katana in a straight line. So, yeah, this one looks a little bit... They may have to balance this pattern, because the second form just looks busted, and the first form just looks useless. So that's just me. We'll see. I think there's a lot of cool things they could do with this. Again, I'm really excited for it. But let's move on to the last new weapon subtype, the Flail. The Flail is a subtype of the sword, so for your paladin, for your warrior, and for your... Who's the other guy? Knight. Yes, those guys. So the Flail is unique because it boomerangs, it pierces, which is interesting because normally knights, paladins, and warriors don't get piercing, but the weapon fires a bit slower as well. So the normal one, the tiered ones, just fire through projectiles. They each have a different range too. So again, we're getting to that sweet spot mechanic. I love this. I think this is a really cool direction to take the game in, or at least a new weapon subtype in. Maybe not the entire game, but like a new mechanic. Cool players can show off, oh yeah, I got top DPS because I can do da-da-da-da. I can hit exactly 2.6875 tiles with this weapon and hit 98 million DPS per second. You know? But I'll just show what the Flail looks like. So it has these 3 different shots that go out. If you can space it just right, you can get tons of damage off. So you can see here, spacing just right allows you to hit a lot of shots off. The UT is similar, except this one doesn't appear to come back. It appears to just... The Barnacle Basher is the UT for the Flail, and it appears to just throw out and stick. But yeah, it does pierce, I think. I'll just show what it looks like. So yeah, it just goes out. I can't really tell if it comes back or not. Like, it's hard. It's genuinely hard for me to tell. But yeah, it looks like it just goes out, pierces, and does gargantuan damage, which looks really cool. I'm excited to see it. These weapon changes look... Not weapon changes. New weapon subtypes look fun. They look interesting. I'm really curious to see what changes they bring for the other 3 weapon subtypes, because I'm assuming they're not only going to do 3 and just leave all the rogue classes and other classes out to dry, because that would be not very cool. You know, you got the staves, you got the wands, and what else am I forgetting? Daggers. I can't remember the other one, but you know, this is really neat. I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, I hope this video was informative for you guys. If you enjoyed it, remember to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. Help me hit 1,000 subscribers. We're super close. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. I hope to see you next time. But until then, keep it beefy, boys. I will see you in the next video.